Good morning, class 9. Today we are going to see about earthquakes and another outcome of the result of internal forces of the earth, that is the endogenetic forces of the earth. So this may be a result of the movement of tectonic plates, volcanic eruptions, landslides, faulting, human activities also, and some earthquakes are of isostatic origin, that is what we also call as movement in tectonic plates, right? So these all may be reasons for a earthquake, right? When an earthquake is caused, so many times we are talking about an earthquake. What is an earthquake? A quake means a trembling or a shivering in the earth's surface. So this trembling or a shivering, when it is caused in the earth's surface, it has so many effects. Let's see what are the effects in the due course of the class. Now let's see the features of an earthquake. Now this is an earthquake. These are shock waves. This is the point where the earthquake has occurred. So the point originally above the ground, that is known as the epicenter. Where the earthquake has occurred, that is known as the epicenter, and where originally the point has occurred, that point is known as the focal point or the focus. The intensity will be more at the epicenter. As we are going out from the epicenter, the intensity keeps on decreasing. Okay. And this intensity is measured with the help of a Richter scale or a seismograph or a Markle scale. The study of earthquakes is known as seismology. So most of the earthquakes, most of the study of internal structure of the earth, we have seen in rocks that most of the structure or most of the internal structure of the rocks is dependent upon the seismic waves, right? And this Richter scale helps us in knowing the seismic waves, right? It is given marking of 0 to 9 on the Richter scale. The intensity is measured from 0 to 9. As the intensity keeps on increasing, the focus also, the intensity also increases. That it means the effect of the earthquake also increases, whether it may be a positive effect or a negative effect. Normally, if the intensity is above 5 or 6, then it is considered to be a very harsh earthquake or very hard earthquake. The earthquake near Bhuj, it measured 5.6 on the Richter scale. We know that the crust of the earth is very unstable. For this reason, the earth experiences many endogenetic and exogenetic changes. Now let's see what are the causes of earthquakes. The first cause of earthquake is crustal instability. We know that the earth is made up of tectonic plates. So when there is a movement in these tectonic plates, there is for sure there will be a disturbance between the plates. So we know that there are convergent plates and divergent plates. When these convergent plates come together, obviously there will be a pressure between the plates, and these plates tend to create pressure in between the plates, and that leads to earthquakes, right? That lead to earthquakes. Why? Because the rocks cannot absorb heat, and When the rocks cannot absorb heat, it leads to a great pressure in between them and leads to displacement between the plates, right? So that is one reason. The second reason is foldings. The pressure in between the plates causes folding in between the plates, and that is one of the other reason for crustal instability. Second one is volcanic eruption. When a volcanic eruption happens, it leads to lot of displacement. It leads to lot of displacement causing a earthquake. The pressure is given out a lot during a volcanic eruption, so a earthquake is caused. During 1883, the in Krakatoa in Indonesia, when the volcano erupted, it led to a earthquake in Indonesia. Of course, landslides and avalanches, they also cause earthquakes, because when landslides come down, they come with great friction. Great friction, so that earthquake is caused. The plates down move, so earthquakes are caused when they come down a mountain. Another reason is isostatic disturbances. See, when there is a disturbance in adjustment in Sial and Sima, then also Sial and Sima sediments, then also earthquakes are caused. If earthquakes are caused because of disturbance of crustal balance due to sediments, then that is known as isostatic origin. For example, Koina Dam, that also, because of deposition of sediments, that also has been, that also had an earthquake, right? And even in Pakistan in 1963, we had an earthquake because of this isostatic origin. And the last one is man-made problems or man-made causes. When we have this bomb blasts or nuclear explosions, then we are probable to have an earthquake. Nuclear explosions, today we have nuclear riots. So these are probable causes for an earthquake. Just like the volcanoes, the distribution of the earthquakes also goes in the same way, like Circum-Pacific Belt and Mid-World Mountain Belt mainly, right? Circum-Pacific Belt, here also convergent plate tectonics, and here Mid-World Mountain Belt, as usual, the divergent plate tectonics what has taken place in the earthquakes. Apart from these, we have the mid-continental belt, and interplate seismicity. Interplate seismicity. Right? So in the Circum-Pacific Belt, we have most number of earthquakes. The reason is number of tectonic plates are moving more, and we have number of volcanic eruptions also. Number of active volcanoes are more here. Obviously, number of earthquakes also taking place here will be more. We have as many as 452 active volcanoes over this place. So obviously number of earthquakes will also be more in this place, like Indonesia, Philippines, all these places we have number of active volcanoes. So earthquakes also will be taking place more in this place. And next, coming to Mid-World Mountain Belt. In the Atlantic region, number of active volcanoes are less, like Mount Etna, Mount Vesuvius, Mount Etna, these are active volcanoes. So in that region we have volcanic activity, earthquake activity more. So except for that places, number of active volcanoes are comparatively less, and earthquake places are also comparatively less. In the mid-continental belt, like Iran, Himalayas and Caucasus Mountains and Asia Minor, all these places we have very shallow earthquakes, but deep earthquakes are almost absent in these places, whereas in the Circum-Pacific Belt and Mid-World Mountain Belt we have deep earthquakes, right? And the last one is interplate seismicity. Interplate means in between the plates. Interplate seismicity. So whenever the plates are moving, the major plates we have seen in the previous classes, like the Caribbean plate, the Philippines plate, Indian plate, Eurasian plate, all these plates, when these plates are moving, there will be a seismicity between the plates. There is a chance of earthquakes, right? There is a chance of earthquakes. So that is known as interplate seismicity. In 1811, in 1906, all these times there was earthquakes because of this interplate seismicity. And next one, what we are going to see is a tsunami. Tsunami is destructive. Tsunami is a very big wave. Tsunami is a very big wave which comes down, which comes in water, and this wave is caused by earthquake in the sea. Volcanic eruptions, landslides, all these are also a cause for tsunami. And generally tsunamis, they have very big wavelength but short amplitude. The waves will be having a very big wavelength, so that all the people will be submerged, or all the people will be getting down, and the wavelength will be, the amplitude will be very short for a tsunami, right? And moreover, the wave of a tsunami will be so big that it is almost many hundred kilometers long, right? And now let's see what are the effects of earthquakes. Now let us see the effects of earthquakes. The positive effects of earthquakes: restoration of energy inside the earth. The earth releases a lot of energy, like geothermal energy now comes out. We can use lot of hot energy, from where we can take in lot of energy, like which we can use it for geothermal energy. Now coastal plains are also regenerated. Coastal plains are also regenerated with the help of earthquakes. Now new coastal plains are even formed. Next, hot springs. Because of the very hot, because of very hot energy inside, hot springs may be formed. Next, the seismic waves. They help to learn the interior structure of the earth, because they are the base for learning the interior structure of the earth. And next, coming to negative effects of earthquakes. The first one anyway will be the destruction of land and property. Not only land and property, so many people anyway will be killed. not only land and property, transport and communication also will be stopped. When an earthquake happens, you have the transport and communication, roads broken, all the communication stopped. So transport and communication also will be stopped. Loosening of soil. When an earthquake happens, loosening of soil happens. All the soil becomes loose. When the soil is only tight, then only we do not have landslides and mud flows. Then landslides. When the soil loosens, the opposite repercussion, the obvious repercussion will be landslides and mud flows. So that also will take place when a earthquake happens, right? So these are the positive and negative impacts of a earthquake. Hope the lesson is understood.